What the hell was that? Keep that up.
Hello, good to have you with us on Red Barn Radio. I'm Brad Becker. We continue to celebrate the 20th season of Red Barn Radio, and tonight we welcome you to show number 782. Welcome to Red Barn Radio. Our guest this week is Shovelin Stone. With roots embedded in the Colorado Rocky Mountains and a sound unhinged in the capital of Texas, Shovelin Stone is a music almost as unique as the friendship it stems from. A shared passion for old-timey bluegrass is what brought Mackenzie Willocks and Zach Thrall together. But what they also share is a joy for the moment and a can-do attitude of dealing with complications that life and work brings. This is a terrific formula for longevity in the music field, and Shovelin Stone is really on a roll. Welcome to the Red Barn stage, Shovelin Stone.
Good evening and welcome to Red Barn Radio. Wherever in the world you're listening, welcome to Roots Music Southern Style. Thanks to WEKU, Red Barn Radio's official radio partner, NPR for Central and Eastern Kentucky. Listen online at weku.org. Red Barn Radio is supported by Visit Lex, Lexington, Kentucky's Convention and Visitors Bureau. More information on what Lexington has to offer is at visitlex.com. LexArts, Lexington, Kentucky's premier cultural development, advocacy, and fundraising organization, working for the development of a strong and vibrant arts community as a means of enhancing the quality of life in Central Kentucky. Follow Red Barn Radio on Twitter and like us on Facebook. Here's the host of Red Barn Radio to tell us more about tonight's performers.
Our guest this evening on Red Barn Radio is Shovelin Stone. They come to us from the Denver and Fort Collins, Colorado territory. Shovelin Stone's first album was recorded by Grammy-winning producer P.J. Olson of the Alan Parsons Live project. Relics magazine loved their knack for storytelling and their pop sensibilities. With the addition of multi-talented bassist, cellist, and mandolin player Russick Smith and rock drummer Brett Throgmorton, Shovelin Stone is really doing some cool stuff. They just got back, as I understand, from a long tour in Europe, which we're excited to hear about. We are so glad to have these guys touring through Kentucky to be on Red Barn Radio. Welcome, Shovelin Stone.
Thank you.
Throw the bottle at the door. Say that you don't love me anymore. Oh, and all I do is drink. Well, it's the only time I feel like I can think. How dare you scream at me? How dare you wear my heart there on your sleeve, saying that, oh, you wanna give it back. But I know you'll only give me half, But I think that this can be saved. It all starts with being brave. Say what you gotta say. I won't walk away, I swear. Whoa, whoa, won't you tell me? When the cold wind blows outside, keeps us awake at night. I wonder what's running through your pretty little head. Sometimes I think that you just wish that I were But I think that this can be said. It all starts with being brave. Say what you gotta say. I won't walk away, I swear. Whoa, whoa, won't you tell me?
Thank you.
This next one, thank you. That first one's called Won't You Tell Me. I guess that's the second one. The first one was Change My Mind. That one was Won't You Tell Me. And this next one's a nice little story song. It's called Wash Over You.
Mary's walking down an old dirt road that she used to know, thinking how she used to pick blackberries there on the side of the road. Then she'd go down the river and kiss that boy from town. They ran back to the car when the rain started coming down. Turned on the radio and a song started playing slow, and they're singing along 'cause there was one they both know. Funny how a song can freeze that moment in time. Well, it was right then and there that these words crossed Mary's mind. And she thought, oh, Mary, let the water wash over you. Let it wash, let it cleanse all the things you do. Don't know which day you won't make it through, Lord. Oh, Mary, let the water wash over you. Mary snaps, comes to, and she's sitting at a traffic light. Fast cars, city life, well, it didn't work out right. So she thought that she'd pack her bags just like all those other times. Don't you know what you're running from, girl, is up there in your mind? And she thought, oh, Mary, let the water wash over you. Let it wash, let it cleanse all the things you do. You don't know which day you won't make it through, Lord. Oh, Mary, let the water wash over you. Some people have no problems passing out advice, but when it comes to listening, their ears close like a vice. You can get torn apart by doing all that thinking, 'cause the devil just outside your door, opening my sneaking soul. Oh, Mary, let the water wash over you. Let it wash, let it cleanse all the things you do. Don't know which day you won't make it through, Lord. Oh, Mary, let the water wash over you.
Thank you, guys.
Right now, we're gonna play a song called "Ain't No Shooting Star." This song is I like cowboy movies. I like watching old cowboy movies, and I had been watching a whole bunch of them, especially in documentaries about Billy the Kid and stuff. And I came up with this idea of what it would have been like to live back in those days and be a kind of a hot-handed young gunslinger, you know, and the kind of trouble you can get yourself in. So this is kind of a story song about a guy that's writing a letter to his wife back home, and he's got himself in some trouble, and they're fixing to hang him the next day, and he's writing a letter home on all the mistakes that he'd made and how he wished he could have taken them back. It's called "Ain't No Shooting Star." Darling, can you hear my voice through my words? Well, I've been writing all night long and I don't know what's worse. So that's been locked up, oh, your heart that burns. Sorry about the handwriting, they're shaking on my nerves. Well, I went and got myself locked up and this time it's no good. Oh, how I'd stay home with you now if I could. But the rye whiskey owns me and I'll never pay guess, in my mind. This time I've went and gone too far. Ain't no shooting star. Ain't no shooting star. Save what I left behind.
Thank you. We're going to play Wing Song next. I lost a buddy a couple years back. He was too young to go. And kind of made you think about slowing down and remembering, how quick that can happen. And so it's kind of about just remembering the love that I have in my life and the love I had for him. And it's called Wing Song.
Sometimes I like to escape. Roll up a fat one, let my mind drift away to a gentle place where the sun it shines. Smoke my weed and drink my wine. Why can't I always feel this way? Well, I remember when I first saw her face. I finally understood outer space, love and time. Oh, that's right. We made love all night, and why can't I always feel this way? When did my mind get so led astray? Well, I've been slowing my whole life down, thinking about a lot of things, like how we all want to get so high, but nobody has wings. Oh, honey, yeah, darling, yeah. Oh, won't you spread your wings? Well, I think about you every day. I remember the time that your soul had to go away. Though life was short, I'm here to report that you lifted me up. You looked at the cup, overflowing, never knowing, like a flower growing. And I hate that I had to feel this way. Well, I know I'll see you again, oh, one day. So I've been slowing my whole life down, thinking about a lot of things, like how we all want to get so high, but nobody has wings. Oh, honey, yeah, darling, yeah. Oh, won't you spread your wings?
Thank you.
All right. Our guests on Red Barn Radio this evening are Shovelin Stone. I hope you've been enjoying the music as much as we have been. Fronting the band here, doing most of the singing so far is Mackenzie Willocks. And as I understand it, Mackenzie, you and Zach kind of started this thing out.
Yeah.
And does it go back, does your friendship go back to before the football field?
Yeah, so me and Zach have a mutual friend. My buddy growing up, who was our star running back on our football team, went to play football with him in college. I was the cool kid. I got to hang out with all the older upperclassmen. So when he graduated, I had no friends, and so I would go to Greeley, Colorado, where they were playing at UNC, and Zach was living with his name is Josh Morton. Shout out Josh. Zach had a guitar and I had a guitar, and we would just mess around and play, and enjoy, just enjoy playing and jamming a little bit. And we shared, a love for the same types of music, which at the time in Colorado wasn't that popular. So finding someone at our kind of age that listened to old time bluegrass was rare. So we kind of bonded over that. And then Zach took off, graduated college, and took off and traveled the world. You can kind of speak to that a little bit if you'd like. So where all the places did you go?
before Zach, before you tell about your world travels, I think I want to ask you where are the seeds of your interest in old time and bluegrass, music of the South? Can you trace that to anything in particular?
Absolutely. So my family is all from southern Missouri, and they say Missouri. And I just grew up in picking circles with my great aunts and uncles, and my great grandpa was a really good guitar player and fiddle player. His brother actually worked with Bill Monroe back in the day. So I've kind of grown up around it. And Zach's dad is just a music head, and just listens to music, and kind of exposed him when he was young to old bluegrass music. So that's kind of where the seeds come from.
Yeah, and so when did that take hold for you? How old were you at that point where you sort of realized that this is the kind of music that you really want to listen to and maybe want to work on yourself?
Yeah, I mean, some of my earliest memories are at a little festival called the Telluride Bluegrass Festival. So
a little one, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I started going there when I was 1 year old, so I was around it my whole life. So it's just kind of been ingrained, like kind of Mackenzie said. It's just been ingrained in who I am and how I grew up. So it wasn't even a hard choice.
Yeah. Zach, what do you remember? What are your earliest memories of Telluride, and what did you see that you found really kind of exciting?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen pictures of me running around the campsites naked. I can't say I really remember that, but yeah.
That was a highlight.
I didn't mean what did other people find exciting. What did you find exciting?
Yeah, just the energy. I think it's Telluride Bluegrass Festival back in the day used to be all the old time pickers and things like that, and the energy really captured me from a really early age.
Such a beautiful place too, to be.
Yeah, and being in that type of environment of Telluride and things like that, really, like I said, kind of made me who I am.
Do you still go to Telluride?
We haven't been in years. So long story short, Mackenzie and I started playing together, and I had an extra ticket to Telluride Bluegrass Festival. And this was in college, so I must have been 21 maybe. Mackenzie definitely couldn't drink yet, but
you were playing banjo?
Not yet. No,
okay.
Sir.
Oh, all right.
Playing guitar, but I had an extra ticket. Mackenzie, I think he went and quit his job.
I did. I quit my job.
In order to go?
Yep.
Excellent.
Walked out that day.
Good
he was
commitment.
Like, you want to go to Telluride? And I was like, hold on a second. I quit.
Nice.
And I left. Yeah.
I love that.
And that's where we solidified the friendship. And doing what you do down there was a lot of fun, and we had some bonding experiences that you can't really, duplicate anywhere else. So that's kind of where we started
being really good friends.
Forming that bond.
Yeah. Did you have Zach? Just out of curiosity, you played football in college. I mean, that's kind of a big deal, and you're a big deal as well. I would take a shot of bourbon from you, but I would not take a shot in my chest with your helmet. What position did you play?
I played center, so I'm quite petite these days, if you will.
You mean compared to the modern day center?
No, compared to how I was.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Back in college, I was 320 pounds, naked. So I'm a petite 260, I think.
Slim down to a small 260.
Yeah, it was.
But go ahead then. Why don't you tell us about that period of time when you guys were apart? You remained here. Did you remain in Austin or in Denver?
No, in
or
Fort Collins, where I was born and raised.
Okay.
I stayed around there, and I just really focused on starting to write songs.
Okay, Austin came later on.
Yeah. That's where we got together again. He called me living down there in Austin and was like, "Hey man, come check Austin out. You know, it's the live music city capital of the world, and I know you're trying to be a solo singer songwriter. You know, you should come down here and
come down to the most competitive music market
absolutely."
in
and
the
it
universe.
was, man, it was. I found out real quick everybody down there is really good.
Yeah, right.
So I came down there and I slept on his couch for. We lived in a studio apartment that was very small. We slept feet from each other, and I wrote the song Austin, which we'll play later. One day downtown, I went downtown, and I'm a 7th generation native to my hometown, so I was the first person to leave my family farm in 7 generations. And so when I left, I was homesick, and no one had ever done that. So I sat down one day feeling really homesick, and I wrote the song Austin, and I brought it back home to where we were living, and he added banjo to it. And it was kind of just a fun song that we played together. And then one day we decided to put it up on Facebook, and we took just a phone video that I think we set up in a tree.
Yep.
And it got 10,000 views in one day.
Oh, hey.
And so we were like, maybe we should be a band. And so thus Shovelin Stone was born.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
And so, Zach, did you get homesick while you were gone? You traveled all over, right?
Yeah, absolutely not.
What'd you do?
You know, I was actually born and raised in Vail, Colorado, and if you don't know of it, it's a big ski resort, small town.
Yeah.
So it's one of those places that you kind of appreciate more after you leave. Small town kind of thing like that. But like I said, you appreciate it more after you leave. So you know, I was traveling around. I was making friends. I was drinking beer. It was just
where?
You name it.
Where haven't you been?
Yeah, I lived in Canada. I lived in British Columbia for a few years, and then lived in Australia and kind of backpacked around South America, backpacked the world in between, and then kind of landed back in America and found my way down to Austin. So that's kind of how that went.
When you took off to travel, did you go with a sort of a personal goal in mind? Were you trying to figure some stuff out, or were you mostly just wanting to see a lot of places?
Well, you know, like with playing college football, you're kind of grounded in one place for a while. You can't leave. You know, college football is a year-long sport. You're training in the summer, you're training in the fall, you're training in the winter. So I knew from an early age I wanted to go. You know, and so as soon as football ended, I moved up to Canada. And kind of started there, and my eyes really got opened there because I ran into a bunch of Australians, and there's a big backpacking culture in Australia, and they kind of taught me that it's doable, you know, like they're backpacking the world, and Canada was a stop for them. So really opened my eyes to that kind of way of life, which I think in general most Americans don't really know about that or don't know it's doable. So it really opened my eyes, seeing all these Aussies and these Germans, and they're just backpacking the world. You know, I was like, what are you guys doing? So that was kind of the inspiration for that. Yeah.
Well, we've been sort of going all over, but I think that what we can do is we can track you now both to Austin, and then so I think when we come back, we'll pick up on that. Shovelin Stone is here on Red Barn Radio. We've got a lot more music and also 2 more band members to become acquainted with. So I'm looking forward to more conversation and music. Hope you are too. Welcome back, Shovelin Stone.
This song's called "Breaking Even." It's about love, a love lost. Well, I only need you in the morning, 'cause I don't like waking up alone. And is this love we're really holding, or did you just need a home? Late at night, I don't know where you've been. 4 a.m. come calling in. You fall asleep and you're dreaming of him.
There wasn't much there when you found it, but you said my name and I love how it sounded. And your love's like whiskey, of course I down. I'm stuck in this glass and I feel like I'm drowned. And I don't wanna feel this way. Feels like we're barely breaking even. I know that you're leaving, yeah, you must have your reasons. Why are you so strong when you're walking away? Who am I to tell you to stay? Who am I to say? Don't talk that way and say you're in love. Your heart it aches, words are never enough. Don't talk that way and say you're in love. 'Cause my heart it aches, words are never enough. And I don't wanna feel this way. Feels like we're barely breaking even. I know that you're leaving, yeah, you must have your reasons. Why are you so strong when you're walking away? Who am I to tell you to stay? Who am I to say? Cool. So we're gonna play a song called "Now That You're Gone." You know, because there's a banjo in the group, and I know we've discussed kind of how me and Zach love bluegrass, but you know, I wouldn't consider us traditional bluegrass. So but because there's a banjo, we got booked for bluegrass shows a lot. So I had to start writing some bluegrass tunes. So this song is an attempt at a bluegrass tune. It's called "Now That You're Gone." Yes, sir. I can't make her happy no matter how hard I try. Well, I quit drinking whiskey to be a better man in her eye. And I quit doing cocaine, staying out too late. But the more that I give, the more she pulls tight. And I carry 1,000,000 bricks to the bottom of the sea. If I thought that that would make her proud of me, it's this love that's been weighing down on my heart. Well, it tastes like spring apples, it's bitter and tart. Girl, can't you see that I'm sweet on you? And I know that I'm rough and hard to hold on to, but I'm breaking through. Your love's like a wild red rose, and I'm trying to hold on, but I'm more of a mess and less of a man. Now that you're gone. Go ahead, Rusty. Well, I come home from working all the long day. She starts setting in on me. Says the baby's been crying, the house has no heat. there's no meat and I'm tired of eating damn beans. You're no good at nothing but carrying on. You're a man and I need you to stand tall. I'm packing the truck and I'm going to my mama's. Oh darling, I'll see you next fall. Girl, can't you see that I'm sweet on you? And I know that I'm rough and hard to hold on to, but I'm breaking through. Your love's like a wild red rose, and I'm trying to hold on, but I'm more of a mess and less of a man now that you're gone. Well, that was now 3 years ago. 3 summers passed and 3 winters snow. And I'll keep digging holes, mining this coal, breaking my back for a man I don't know. But he wears black slacks and he drives a Cadillac down through the streets real slow. Well, I think of those times we made love all night down by where those wild red roses grow. Girl, can't you see that I'm sweet on you? I know that I'm rough and hard to hold on to, but I'm breaking through. Your love's like a wild red rose, and I'm trying to hold on, but I'm more of a mess and less of a man now that you're gone. One more time, Rusty. Good job, boys. Thank you.
So I'm gonna take a step off the set. Rustic's gonna pull out his cello. This is a new song called Black and White. It's gonna be off this new album dropping August 19th. But it's a little lighter touch than a banjo, so I'm gonna let these boys take it.
So like Zach said, this song is called Black and White. Me and Rustic kind of sat down one day. I had this idea. I came to him. We rehearsed at Rustic's house. And I got to rehearsal early, and I said, man, I have this song I think has big potential. Not so much in the pop sense, but just musically and artistically. And I said, I want a lot. You know, I'm telling him this because I can't play these instruments, but I want a lot of cellos, and a lot of basses, bowed basses, and I think this could be cool with more or less a symphony behind it. So we went out to Greenville, West Virginia, and we recorded the song. And Rustic wanted to work on that by himself, which I don't blame him because it's a lot. And he ended up putting, he can correct me on this, but 12 cello pieces and 5 upright bass pieces.
Yeah, it was quite a. I mean, usually when I do string sections, it's a lot easier for me to just kind of sit in my own studio and turn them out. And when you're layering up that much stuff, it's quite a bit. But yeah, it was usually 12 and 4 is a pretty common setup for me. So some of the cello sections take the higher lines and then middle lines and then the basses. Always good to put as part of the string section.
Yeah. Lyrically, the song is kind of about 3 different sections. So it's kind of about the outlook of love, just in general. Kind of a mother's love, more or less my mom's love towards me, and then now my love towards my new babies. So I got a 2 and a 3-year-old. They're real little monsters, yeah. And they're inspiring. So the song is called Black and White, and I love playing it with Rustic. It's a beautiful song. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm capo drum. That'll help us. Standard thing I do. Oh, well, love can be so hard. Yeah, well, it can tear you apart. And it takes patience from the start. Oh, and falling is the easy part. I will rise with every morning sun. I will love you until my life is done. And I will fight the good fight, 'cause everyone knows that life ain't so black and white. Thinking back on my youth, seldom did things go smooth. And I remember digging my little toe in the garden earth where mama's flowers grow. She'd say, alright, with every morning sun, and I will love you until my life is done. And I will fight the good fight, 'cause everyone knows that life ain't so black and white. Now I hear the sounds of little feet. Listen closely to their tiny hearts beat. Oh, how it fills the mind. Now it's my turn, time to shine, time to rise. Every morning Thank you.
Well, we've got lots more music and conversation with Shovelin Stone coming ahead, but I'd like to take just a minute to remind listeners that Red Barn live streams, both tonight's and on any Wednesday, remain available online for you to view at your convenience on the Red Barn YouTube channel. Our live video stream is also available on the weku.org website, as is our audio stream, compliments of WGAD.net in Central New York. Don't miss a single episode of our program, and take the time to tell others what it is that you enjoy about Red Barn Radio. All right, next week we got a real treat for you. Drum roll, please. It's the return of laid-back country picker. Yeah. The night Laid-Back's high school classmates went on their senior trip, he played his first professional bar gig. It wasn't his first show, as he'd played bass in local bluegrass bands, but it opened the door to smoky bars and honky-tonk survival, and he never looked back. Since then, LB, as he likes to be known, played with everyone from Georgia Satellites to the Kentucky Headhunters. He opened for Thin Lizzy and the Guess Who, recorded at Johnny Cash's studio, as well as the now-defunct Butcher Shop in Nashville, owned by John Prine and Sturgill Simpson. This only scratches the surface of Laid-Back's story. Laid-Back is joined by his inimitable partner, Honey, and this White Stripes-inspired duo will not disappoint. You know that. Join us for an evening of rockin' guitar and conversation with Laid-Back, country picker, and Honey. That's next week on Red Barn Radio. Let's get back to tonight's Red Barn Radio program. We welcome you live on our social media platforms, broadcasting from the Arts Place Performance Hall here in the city of Lexington, Kentucky. Please welcome back the Shovelin Stone to the Red Barn stage.
We're going to play a song called Drunk When I Get There. It's about kind of what you think. A little bit about substance abuse, but also about enjoying a drink. It's called Drunk When I Get There. When I get there, now no money makes an anxious man. You try to calm yourself the best you can, but you feel all your thoughts start to run away. Blood, but they hold fear too. It's easy to say till it happens to you, and everybody's judging all the things that you do. And well, I don't know where,
when I get there. When I get there.
Yeah, it got replugged. Was it, No, it got replugged into the electric base. I'm not sure what's happening. Okay, we'll go forward from here. Okay. Can we make sure, Jimmy Shovelin? Yeah, I'm Shovelin.
Nice. Get the cello back out here. So, this song is inspired by my wife. It's called Love Me Too. It's kind of started out as a joke. I was kind of just playing it one day, and the beginning lyrics are, if I gave you all the money in the world, would that make you happy, girl? And then I was like, wait a minute. Maybe this is a song. So she was laughing, and I went ahead and just finished the song up, and it became one of my favorite songs to play, just because it's pretty with the cello and things like that. So it's called Love Me Too. If I gave you all the money in the world, would that make you happy, girl? And if I fell down at your feet, would you be there, help me stand? Back up, please, or keep me down. Don't you keep me down. If I built a tiny house, I would. Maybe someplace in the woods. And when the snow falls and the leaves cover the ground, will your heartbeat be the only sound that I hear? Oh, I want to hear you. We can take a lifetime trying to figure this all out, but my heart belongs to you, and there's no doubt I will try. Stand by you, love you true. Oh, girl, won't you love me too? Won't you love me too? Will you be a soft place to land? And
when I'm dying, will you hold my hand? 'Cause when I break through those clouds, I'll wait for you. 'Cause darling, without you there, they'll never let me through, and I'll be scared without you there. We can take a lifetime trying to figure this all out, but my heart belongs to you, and there's no doubt I will try. Stand by you, love you true. Oh, girl, won't you love me too? Won't you love me too? 1, 2, love me 2, 3, 4, I'm at your door. Won't you love me more? 1, 2, love me 2, 3, 4, I'm at your door. Won't you love me more? Thank you. So this next song is called Here's to Jesus, and it's kind of about forgiveness, and how it can be kind of hard sometimes to be forgiving. So, but I think one of the most important things to do is to be forgiving. So the song's called Here's to Jesus. Ready, boys? 1, 2, 3, 4. We're all sinners and we're covered in mud, so I don't hate you for what you've done. Far as I know, we're just blood. Good thing I didn't try to survive on your love. Well, here's to Jesus for forgiving you. That's not something that I plan to do, no. So thank Jesus for forgiving you. Here's to hope and it's hard to stand. I'm older now and I finally understand that that path you chose was all your own. I bet that hurts you somewhere deep down in your soul. So here's to Jesus for forgiving you. That's not something that I plan to do, no. So thank Jesus for forgiving you. Here's to hoping that he'll forgive me. Please forgive me. Please forgive me. Forgive me. Forgive me.
All right. If you are just joining us, you are listening to the sounds of Shovelin Stone, and not the Shovelin Stone. I said that earlier, the Shovelin Stone. Be a very different thing.
Yeah,
Changes the whole meaning of the band. Good for a rock band, maybe. The Shovelin Stone.
Wrestler.
So yeah,
There it is.
But anyway, it's great to have you guys with us, and I'm having such a fun time listening to your music. There are a couple of folks up here on the stage we haven't spoken to yet, and I've been talking to Zach and Mackenzie, banjo and guitar and songwriters, but Russick Smith and Brett Throgmorton, who's playing drums, are a huge part of Shovelin Stone Gen 2.
Yeah, version 2.
Yeah. So why don't you start us off, if you wouldn't mind, Russick? I think I guess it probably goes without saying that people who have sort of so many tools at their disposal, can do bass, cello, and whatnot, are probably in demand. But there's obviously a reason why you like this project and why you like what happens here. Can you talk about that some?
Yeah, I think the strongest thing about this band is that it's the camaraderie. I play with a lot of people and do session work and things like that. But being on the road with these guys, we don't get tired of each other, which is kind of weird. We're good friends, which I think kind of came out of the blue. You never really know where good friendships come from, and where the right people that you want to play with, when that's going to happen. But when it does happen, you recognize it.
Yeah, right. And talk some about your training. I'm thinking particularly on cello, because why do I have a hunch that that's kind of where it started, classical training?
Yeah. I mean, most people don't just kind of pick it up later on. I started cello when I was 9 years old, and they had an instrument petting zoo at the school at my elementary school. It's
Say what now?
Instrument petting zoo. It's like you've got the cafeteria, you've got all of the tables set out, and they just bring all the instruments and they put them on the table, and they say, "Hey kids, go and try them." And
excellent. You don't have to worry about allergies or any of that stuff that you would with normal petting zoos.
Yeah. None of them really gonna like jump out and attack you. And the cello, a lot of kids gravitated towards like the loudest instruments. Though I remember trumpet was like a real big
I'm sure.
one. And the reason I went to the cello is because it was big and there were no other kids around it, and I just drew the bow across the strings, and my young 9-year-old mind was kind of blown by just that sound, and little would I know that it would change the trajectory of my life.
Yeah, and did you have one teacher that you stayed with for a long time, or did you study with others?
Actually, there's a teacher named Barbara Thiel. I don't know where she is now, but I studied with her from 9 through age 14, and by the time I got to be in my teenage years, cello wasn't like the hippest thing that I could do, surprisingly. And I was much more into like heavy metal and stuff, and cello it wasn't filling the bill, and so I kind of that slowly went by the wayside as I picked up electric bass and got into really heavy rock music, and then up through jazz. And after teaching myself bass for a couple of years, I studied with a teacher named Matt Skellinger, and really kind of dove into some highly technical stuff and expanded my mind.
Yeah, you're training, learning to read music, learning theory, all of that. Did that transfer, do you feel, into the work you do with these guys? I was thinking about I was thinking about the story that that Mackenzie was telling earlier about the string arrangement that you put together for his tune, and I was kind of thinking about that while he was talking.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that it did for me, particularly on cello, is that growing up in a traditional music education framework, it's a lot about a cerebral exercise. You know, there's right and there's wrong, and there's music on a page, and that's it. So when I was educated on cello, there wasn't a lot of room to write, to think melodically. It was an exercise of the head. And when I started learning bass, it taught me a lot about improvising and creating music. And so for me, it's influenced my bass playing, and learning jazz and improvisation came back around full circle and taught me a lot about speaking through the cello with my own words instead of words that somebody else had written for me to say.
So I'm assuming that the others in the band, well, I don't know why I would assume this, but it just seems to me that you would be the person who got the classical training. I don't know whether or not, we haven't talked with Brett yet. I assume that neither of you had classical training, just based on the story that you told about your sort of musical journey.
Yeah, we're both self-taught ear guys.
Yeah. And I just was wondering, Russick, do you find that is liberating for you in some ways, not to be working with others who maybe are so cerebral and sort of technical about music?
You know, it's a lot of the stuff I do on my own kind of fills the niche of technicality and cerebral stuff.
Yeah.
And you know, the biggest thing about Shovelin Stone is really it's about heart, which is really what music is about at its core. No matter if it's written or if it's played, it's about the soul of it. And I think that the thing here is that nobody's playing in this band is playing for an ego. It's playing for the soul of the thing. It's not, you know, and that's important. That's important to have the soul of it.
Yeah. Hey, yeah, thanks. Thanks a lot, Russick. I appreciate talking to you. I wonder if we could talk to Brett. Can Brett's mics pick him up okay?
Yeah, can I shout out you from my overhead?
Does that work out okay for you, Ed? He's directed to come from. Oh, great. Why don't you come forward? Do you mind that? We'll put you on the spot. Yeah, I'd say go to the mic that is
This is really just
tallest.
an opportunity to see how tall Brett is.
Wow. Okay.
I'm usually sitting behind that drum kit, but
Okay. Well, yeah. I don't know if you can see this on the live stream, folks, but we're talking about a guy who's definitely six. I'm gonna say 6'5".
6'6".
6'6". All right. Good. Close.
Nobody really cares. Nobody questions it at this point.
Hey, Brett, tell us about your training, and then how it is that this particular ensemble is sort of working for you as a sort of rock drummer.
Right.
Yeah.
I think I've got kind of a funny, good influences, and also found, I like what Russick said about just kind of the language of finding a way to speak through your instrument. I mean, definitely drums are just how I hear music. That's kind of what I listen to. Everybody listens to something else, but I'm not a huge lyrics guy, and I've just found that I'm pretty pure percussionist at my core. I think it kind of fits my personality too a little bit. It's a good role to have in a band, and kind of fits the friendship that we all have, and it's a pretty steady role. But I grew up around music. My mother's actually a classical musician, and then she taught piano lessons out of our house. So I like to say I was just naturally ear trained, listening to people tickle around melodies on the piano, and me and my sister played piano at one point, but it's kind of funny. Like, I could have possibly been a theory-trained pianist, but I turned out to be a rock and roll drummer of sorts. So it's kind of beautiful how you are meant to figure out where you're meant to be in the music world. And I kind of have really neat background just from growing up around music and playing all sorts of things. But
Yeah, well, you say you're not a lyric guy, that you're a percussion guy, but you're in a band that's a lyric-y band. And I wonder...
don't tell Mackenzie that.
So-
But I don't always listen to every word.
Yeah, well,
and-
well, that's okay. But do you find at times as a percussionist that you're sort of recalling certain phrases or locking into certain phrases and what they might mean, and how you can give more meaning to them as a percussionist?
Absolutely. Vocal cues are huge. Even if later I might decipher the meaning of it, but it really does affect how I lay into the cymbals, or like what emotion I play with. So absolutely, it's super important, both for navigating the song, but also like knowing what it's coming across as.
Yeah.
I think you do a really good job of that, whether you know it or not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He's really good at selling the spots that he's really good at selling the spots that I'm hearing that I want sold on the drums.
Oh, nice.
And he nails that almost.
Do you ever direct him that way?
Never.
No,
I don't
okay.
have to direct.
One of the coolest things Mackenzie kind of tells all of us, and with Russick it's easy. It's like, because we're like, do your thing, man. You got all kinds of tools. But a really cool thing in this band early on was Mackenzie was like, be an artist. You're a drummer. Do your thing. And that's nice to have artist license in a band, that whether he directs it or not, it's kind of directed through the music and through the songs that we all understand.
Yeah.
We had a fun when we were cutting this last record. I remember there's a couple of moments where, we got to cutting vocals, and Brett was like, "Oh wow, that's what you're singing there? Like that's really cool. That's a nice line." I like that."
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I actively listen, but when I'm playing, my brain's doing something else.
I get it.
I've recently started trying to sing and play drums just because we're background vocals, or some of my favorite artists are some of those guys that can sing and play drums at the same time. But it's difficult for your brain to do that. So a lot of my brain power is going into the drumming, and that because I'm a percussion guy. That's what's going on up there. But but I definitely actively listen. It's a fun way to listen to music in general. It's like I'm picking up bass line, and I don't know, I feel like I listen to a little bit of everything, but am driving the beat and focusing on that.
Well,
So,
thanks for stepping up, Brett, and talking to us, and Russick, you too. I want to pick up on a couple of things that we were talking about earlier on, and I guess maybe I would like to jump to that place where you guys decided you got this new ensemble, and you decided you want to get an album out. You want to record some songs with that fuller Shovelin Stone sound.
Yeah.
So our listeners don't need to be told who Chance McCoy is, who was with
Old Crow.
Yeah. No, thanks. Yeah, that's it. No, who was with Old Crow, right? Like 10 years into their run, and so he's in West Virginia. How is it that you happen to want to come to Appalachia to do your recording?
I think the number one thing was that it was going to be so remote, and there's so many distractions, and there was so many distractions in the first record with PJ, and not in a bad way, but you had cell phone service, and at Chance's house there was no cell phone service, there was no internet, and there was no escape from making the record. It was wake up every day, and that's what we were going to do.
You could sit on the porch.
Yeah, you can sit on the porch and enjoy the beautiful Appalachian Mountains, and so that was a huge part of it. Obviously, Chance being Chance, that was let's go out and be with somebody who's been around this music and does this music and knows this music and lives in a place where this music comes from. Me and him had kind of been talking here and there on Instagram, and we were looking at recording the second record, and I thought that would be a good place to do it, because he was like, hey, listen, man, I'm not telling you that you're going to get the greatest quality or whatever out of this record. I'm going to do what you ask of me, and there's going to be no distractions. And that was something that I kind of didn't get with the first record. I would say Zach would agree. We didn't really get that with the first record. It was kind of like, this is how it's going to go, and this is the way it should be. And we were so new to what we were doing, we just said, okay. And the first record we love, and it's our first baby, but it's not something I would have thought would have come out the way it did. So we were able to be really free and not distracted when we made it, and that was a massive part of why we did it there.
Yeah, and so so what the environment did for you is apparent. And what about Chance's role in the studio? Was it totally laissez-faire?
Kind of, yeah. I mean, we kind of discussed what we would like, and something that Shovelin Stone I think brings. One of our strong suits is that we have a really good live energy. And we're really good. We love playing with the crowd. We love talking to the crowd. We love interacting with the crowd. And so, the first record was kind of all the bells and whistles. Where this record, we wanted to sound like we sound when we're on stage. And so, I told him that, and he was like, "Listen, these are my ideas. What do you think of them?" And we rolled with them. And that idea was to cut everything around one mic. So we sat around one mic, which is kind of an old school way of doing things, and it was cool. We sat around and we played our songs and we expressed ourselves, and I think we're all happy with what came from it.
Did Chance or anyone else play on the CD? Play on the recording?
Nope. I think he later on added his partner Jackie. I think she sings harmonies on, I don't remember what song it is, but. She added a little bit of kind of high range harmonies, but other than that, no, it was 100% us.
All right, and that was what you desired?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Well, congratulations to you guys for where you're headed, and I did want to ask you just quickly before we get back to music. How about just a brief, just a summary of the European experience? Was it a good experience for you guys? Zach, you'd done all this traveling, so you're the traveler in the group. What did you think?
Yeah, it was incredible. It was everything we thought it was going to be and then some. I think one of the coolest things about it is 95% of the towns we played, you would never go to, unless you're told to go there and play music, so it was really special in that sense, and everywhere we went, everything's so old, here in America it's relatively new. So I mean, we go there and you play in a 500-year-old church at a hospital, and it's just everywhere you go there's a castle, and it was just really special. And the audiences there are extremely attentive, extremely into the music, and it was just such a pleasant surprise. Every single place we went was really amazing. And like I said, just places you wouldn't necessarily go to, little college towns in Germany that are just off the beaten trail, and it was so special, and everybody was so warm and so welcoming and very enthusiastic about our music, because we like you said, we recorded deep in the Appalachians and we're from Colorado, so it was good to see. It was nice. It was a warm welcome, and it's a really special opportunity that we can't wait to do again.
Well, I'm sure there's a ton to tell about that. Do you want to say something else,
No,
Mackenzie?
I was just saying it was a blessing.
Yeah.
It was a blessing.
How so?
Just getting to do that. I mean, if you'd have told a 15-year-old Mackenzie sitting on his bed writing songs that one day I'd take my guitar with some of my best friends and tour the world, I would have never believed it. So getting to do it was just, it was a dream come true.
With friends?
Yeah, with my best friends.
Which is awesome.
Yep.
Well, we're so glad you guys could come and be with us. Thanks for talking to me, talking to us, and there's, I'm sure, lots more to discuss and converse about and next time you come.
Yeah,
We'll
thank you.
pick it up
thank
from
you
there.
so much, Red Barn, for having us.
All right.
This is very special to us.
Welcome back, Shovelin Stone.
We're gonna play a song called "Note to Self." This song is about just being kind to one another. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Well, I smoke and drink and I caught that bug. and I hang out in alleyways with misfits and thugs. When I saw God, I slowly looked down, and I tried to hide amongst the crowd. But the crowd I was in were strange-looking people, and I dreamt I'd been stabbed by the church's steeple. Come on, we're all children, he said. We're here to drink blood, we're here to break bread. No one alive's hands are clean. That's why we must do good, you know what I mean. That's why we must do good, you know what I mean. True love, but I felt my heart break, and I lose my temper, take more than I should take. See, I've learned you learn by making mistakes. 'Cause if you lived your life perfect, your soul will escape. Said if you live your life perfect, your soul will escape. Against a gray sky, it's just what I see, don't ask me why. See, we all see things different 'cause we have our own eyes. So may truth bring you mercy, don't hide behind lies. Said truth brings you mercy, don't hide behind lies. Come on, come on. Children, he said, we're here to drink blood, we're here to break bread. No one alive's hands are clean. That's why we must do good, you know what I mean. That's why we must do good, you know what I mean.
Thank you, guys. So out here in Kentucky, we've been out here now, I think 4 times as a band. It's really kind of becoming our second home. We're making buddies out here. We just love it out here. Kind of look what I said about Europe. Everybody's so nice. Everybody in Colorado is nice, but this time they have like a little twang to it. So that's odd for us. But you also forgot to tell us it's so humid. But but yeah, Kentucky's just like kind of slowly becoming our second home. We head out to eastern Kentucky often, a little town called Paintsville, which I'm not sure if we knew existed before we came out here. Did you?
No.
Yeah, but been playing out there at the Alley on Main out there, and it's really slowly becoming a second home for us. And we always come through Lexington and really love it. So we've been listening to Red Barn for forever, so this is really really special. But anyway, Russick tries to turn that cello into a fiddle sometimes and saw through it. We're gonna give it a whirl here. It's a new song. It's called Easy Part.
3 days of no sleep and the carpet is starting to grow. I don't think that I've ever felt this damn low. And the demons are screaming 'cause they have nowhere else to go. Oh, as I raise my head up from this old blow. Time flies by on a warm summer night. Oh, when you're singing at the stars. Time flies by, oh, all my life. Like you waiting for the easy part. Like you waiting for the easy part. Go ahead, Russick. My brother Randy's doing 10 in El Reno. He's got him a son and 2 daughters that he barely knows. No, maybe some of that time it'll be good for him. Well, I'm not their daddy, but I try to be there for them. Time flies by on a warm summer night. Oh, when you're singing at the stars. Time flies by, oh, all my life. Like you waiting for the easy part. Like you waiting for the easy part. Like you waiting for the easy part. We're gonna play the title track off of our new record. It's called Summer Honey. This song is kind of about chasing love, if you will, and it's one of our favorite songs to play because it's so groovy.
We also we filmed the music video for this in Chance's studio in Greenville, West Virginia. So there's a music video for this out, and we filmed it in that little
space.
studio
Yeah, right in that space.
in Appalachia. So so check it out. That gives you a little insight to what we were doing.
We built this set so that I would have the most inconvenient instrument changes possible.
I'm just trying to keep a banjo out of his hand so I'm not have a job.
Tell me all the bad things that you've done. Tell me all the bad things that you do for fun. Tell me where you'd go if you'd run. Tell me you're some kind of flower, child born of the sun. Put your hands all over me. Give me some of your honey. Put your hands all over me. Give me some of that honey. I can't seem to smile and be rest. Only a fool falls in love, yeah, it's fearless. Probably break my heart, but I could care less. There's only one kind of thing that can cause less distress. Put your hands all over me. Give me some of your honey. Put your hands all over me. Give me some of that honey. Tell me, did you get high and never come down? Tell me that you don't feel so alone when I'm around. Tell me how you were lost, now you're found. So don't tell me how you've been running all over town. Put your hands all over me. Give me some of your honey. Put your hands all over me. Give me some of your honey.
Right. Well, there are so many people to thank for our program. First, Shovelin Stone, and who've been our guest this evening, who came here all the way from Colorado. We are ever grateful for our volunteers and staff who make our production happen so beautifully each week. And I want to say something about John Burke, who has been played a big role in Red Barn Radio for many years. John is moving on to do other things, but you know, the mission of this program is to get this music out to the region and beyond. And John is a guy who does everything he can to make this show in this environment a positive environment. He is always focused on the artist and how they're doing, how they look, and how they feel. I think you'll all agree John is a guy who makes everyone here just feel a little bit better about what they're doing. And so we're going to miss John Burke a great deal. We also want to thank all of you for listening to our webcast, watching us on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch, and those listening to us on the network of Red Barn stations and media worldwide. Thanks to WEKU, Red Barn's premier radio partner, NPR for Central and Eastern Kentucky. Listen online at weku.org. It's your chance to hear more great live music from Red Barn Radio and WEKU, NPR for Central and Eastern Kentucky. Those of you here in the central Kentucky area, be sure to check out Red Barn TV. It's our weekly program of music, now on ABC 36 WTVQ. Red Barn Radio comes to you from our home, the Arts Place Performance Hall, here in the grand city of Lexington, Kentucky. Our website has updates and further information on our guests and our program. We're on the web at redbarnradio.com. And now, before we close out tonight's program, let's bring back bring back Shovelin Stone, who's going to send us home with one more number. All right.
Thank you guys again so much for having us. It's been a great time. This is the song I alluded to earlier. The song is called Austin, and this is kind of the song that caught P.J. Olson's ears and was wanting to cut a record with us. So this song is called Austin. One, two, three. I packed my bags, my mama cried. Sun was asleep, gray clouds filled the sky. But I drove 1,000 miles down to you. Pedal to the floor, well, I drove that whole night through in Austin. You're to blame. The hot Texas wind is a howling my name in Austin. You're to blame. Hot Texas wind is a howling my name, oh Austin. I met a girl down there, yeah, her lips sweet as honey, but her words are cold as ice. Around the bottle, hands around the bottle, 'cause whiskey is my vice. In Austin, you're to blame. The hot Texas wind is a howling my name. In Austin, you're to blame. Hot Texas wind is a howling my name, oh Austin. The city lights are way too bright. Now we're getting burned by those neon signs. So barkeeper, give my last dollar to you. I raise my glass of tears, oh, here's to the blues. In Austin, you're to blame. The hot Texas wind is a howling my name. In Austin, you're to blame. Hot Texas wind is a howling my name, oh Austin. Well, I packed my bags, my mama cried. The sun was asleep, gray clouds filled the sky. But I drove 1,000 miles down to you. Pedal to the floor, well, I drove that whole night through. In Austin, you're to blame. The hot Texas wind is a howling my name. In Austin, you're to blame. Hot Texas wind is a howling my name, oh Austin. Thank you guys so much.
Well, that's all for our show for this week. You can see and hear Red Barn Radio worldwide as we stream live on the web, on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch, Wednesdays, 7 p.m. Eastern in North America. You can also listen to archived performances on Spotify and iTunes and watch mountains of video on the Red Barn Radio YouTube channel. Hey, remember, every like, comment, share, and subscribe helps bring roots music Southern style to your neck of the woods. And finally this, if any of our featured artists are performing in your area, get out there and hear them live. They need you now more than ever. From all of us here at Red Barn Radio to all of our friends worldwide, keep working together to be safe and healthy. And until next time, good night from Red Barn Radio.